Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Bodied, the Cloud9 Fancast. Today we'll be discussing the exciting Worlds Finals, Cloud9's exciting CSGO Championship run, and whatever else we want to talk about because it's the off-season, baby. I'm your host, Havokpus, and today I'm joined by...
It's frozencreek. Hey guys, I'm back. I'm cold. It's freezing here.
And you know who else is back? It's everyone's favorite PieMagicMan.
The one and only.
Hey guys, I'm Trey, also known as Raikoul. I'm a little new, but I'm here to help the fam.
Yep, introducing Trey, who shall be a pretty big part in this podcast, actually, as he will be one of the co-hosts for the other eSports show we're currently in development. So look forward to his sultry voice in the future. So, guys, this has been a pretty exciting week for eSports, actually, or a couple of weeks. Let's kick this discussion off with the World Finals. SK Telecom played against Samsung Galaxy in a surprising and pretty exciting 5-game series. What did you guys think about that?
I was at the finals, and I can tell you that it was quite incredible. I don't think we'll have a tournament like this for quite a while. It was really impressive, the amount of skill that we had this year.
Yeah, probably won't be for another year.
I think you kind of win this round. Raikoul. Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience? Was the stadium completely full, and how big was that giant screen, and what was on that giant screen on the floor?
Alright, so we got into the stadium, and it was completely packed. Not only was it packed on the inside, but they were also having a viewing party outside the event. So there was just a ton of people everywhere. And we get in this amazing opening ceremony, and then what they ended up doing was on the floor, they had a map. The map, and Baron and Dragon would show up on the map, and every time one of those would die, it would have a really nice visual effect saying that Baron or Dragon died, and it also showed teams' gold, time of the game, towers taken, and it was just really cool, because it was different, and it was new.
Yeah, I really like that touch with the map projection. I think that's the kind of production value that people kind of expect from League of Legends now, since it's starting to really become a really big thing. I saw on the day of the finals before, and I think during it, like BuzzFeed was reporting on it. I think ESPN was also talking about it. It was trending on Twitter. So, competitive esports like League of Legends is starting to become like kind of a big deal now in the US, and I really like that it's getting this notoriety, and we're starting to have this really big over-the-top production values and stuff in these giant stadiums. So it was really cool to watch.
Were there like a bunch of big names there? Or was like Double F walking around, or Sneaky, or anything just walking?
I heard that Sneaky and I think maybe Smoothie were there. Sneaky had tickets. I'm not sure about other people, but I know Sneaky was there just because he was talking about it on Twitter and on his stream, and I think Meteos was there too.
I didn't see any of them personally, but from what I heard, they were at the event. I did, however, see the guys from All Chat. I saw a couple of TV celebrities. It was really weird because you don't expect that when you're going to a video game tournament, and it just randomly happens, so.
Yeah. What did you guys think about how the teams play in general? Because I don't think I've ever seen that kind of level of play from two teams before in either just regular season or at a tournament before. Frozen, what about you? You're spamming your thingy.
Between the finals and then the SKT Rocks match, I thought we got some of the best series of League of Legends probably ever, and I'm really glad that it got to such a big audience. I didn't get to see either of them live, but it was amazing watching them after the fact.
I mean, seriously, coming into the finals, alright, Rox SK Telecom, that's gotta be the, actual finals, and then we're gonna have SKT just roll Samsung 3-0, and then they get the 2-0, and then game 3 happened, and that was just like every team fight. I was just on the edge of my seat, like, what's gonna happen? Then that made the series so great.
I agree. I do, however, think that Game 3 probably should have been the end of it. I think SKT fooled around and they ended up paying for it, but it was definitely an interesting match to watch. And the crowd there was really into it, and it was really electric in the stadium.
Yeah, I agree. I think watching it, it was kind of weird seeing Bengi kind of falter because throughout the whole tournament he was playing like really well, and to see him kind of mess up, and then they threw Blank in for game 4, I believe, and Blank has always kind of been the lesser of the two junglers on SKT, so that kind of made the game really close. But I actually like that because as a viewer, I want it to just be just this really exciting match, and I think they delivered that.
I don't think it's totally fair to take anything away from Samsung because they did play super well against SKT in game 3, and they were in a really good position to hop on any mistakes that the SKT made. I think I hope that it says a lot about Cloud9 also, because they did get swept by the Samsung team that took SKT to 5 games.
Yeah. I certainly agree. I think Samsung's just a really strong team. They swept us. They pretty much killed H2K like it was nothing. So I think I think they totally deserve to be there with SKT. I'm not sure about PieMagicMan and Trey, but yeah, I agree with that.
I think this is probably the best finals we could have gotten. As much as people saw Rocks as the second best team at this tournament, I don't know if they could have performed the same way on the final stage as they did on the semifinal stage. But they definitely had a good performance, and it was really great because of the fan prize pool extending it to 5 million. I felt like it made the games a lot more tense.
Yeah, good points. Yeah, I agree. Sort of as a follow-up question to how you guys feel about Worlds, do you think North America will ever win a Worlds tournament? Or do you think that's just completely out of our grasp, will never be as good as the Korean teams, we should just give up now?
Honestly, as much as my bias wants me to say, I believe NA could probably win. Like, you look at this year, and where everyone's saying NA's looked the strongest they've ever looked, and we performed just about the same as always. So, if we're to get to that level, there's gonna have to be, like, a lot of change just overall in NA, but I think one of the biggest issues is just you might have someone who's talented, but ping issues, like other issues regarding internet, like we'll never know just because they can't play at their full potential.
I disagree. If we look back at 2015, and especially at IM Katowice, there are situations, and not necessarily where NA may be the best team, but NA can be put into situations where they can get to the finals and they can possibly make that victory. It just has to have the cards play in their favor and have good group draws and good bracket draws.
I I don't know if NA can win a finals before your League of Legends kind of dies, but I think we're taking the game in all the right directions. Like, I thought our macro this year was extremely strong amongst all the qualifying teams, and I'm looking forward to how they bring that to NA LCS. And I thought that the training seems serious amongst all the teams, and I'm hoping that they can prop up the teams at the bottom to make it a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, I think the big thing, at least looking at it from an outsider perspective, the game is getting a lot more traction, more people are noticing it. You're seeing a lot more high rolling investors, like Team Liquid got money from I think it was the Golden State Warriors
76ers,
and
I think.
Dignitas and yeah, no, Dignitas and Apex were bought by
Oh,
the
okay.
76ers.
Sorry.
And they kind of merged back together. But yeah, you're seeing like all these basketball teams start to invest a lot of money. So you're seeing the money flow in. I think we're continuing to get better structurally in terms of getting coaches and analysts and stuff. I think it's just a matter of getting people that are really dedicated and just continually trying to push themselves inside and outside of the core team. So I think it's more of just keep on keeping on. But anyway, shifting gears a bit, just want to make a quick announcement about All-Stars. Since the finals are over, voting has begun to decide who will go play in the LCS All-Stars event in Barcelona.
Great city.
So far, what?
Great city.
Yes. I've never been, but it should be. I hear it's really beautiful. I think so far Impact is the only one on our team who's leading in the polls. Sneaky and Doublelift are actually pretty close. I think Sneaky's only a little bit behind. I think other than that, everyone else is kind of left in the dust. Because Bjergsen apparently always gets the votes. But yeah, go vote for our team. Go vote for your favorite players. And I think you can vote for all the regions, not just North America. So if you have a favorite LPL or LCK player you want to see play, definitely go vote for them.
Does anybody know if we can vote in Rush for LCK or NA?
No, I don't think so. He
Feels
wasn't
bad.
on the listings, so sadly
Feels
not.
bad.
I'm just surprised that I can't put high and gate for every single role.
Yeah, just a quick reminder. Votes for regions outside of yours only count for 20%. You can vote for all the regions except for International Wildcard, but, yeah, it's actually possible to vote in Samsung White from China, which I think is kind of interesting, but quite funny at the same time.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw a couple threads on r/lol, and that was pretty interesting. I'd kind of like to see that just because it can be done. All right. Anyone have any other All-Star thoughts before we move on to the next topic?
I have nothing.
Okay, sounds good. Moving on to some LCS news. There's actually been a few things that popped up here and there. The biggest one probably is Doublelift announced a hiatus from pro play. He will take spring split off to kind of just chill out, regain his composure, and then attempt to retry out for TSM in the summer and play for summer split. So how will this affect TSM and sort of the pro play environment as a whole?
All right. Imagine this. No one knows who TSM's AD carry is until Cloud9 and TSM take to the stage for the spring split. And out comes, with a short haircut, not even a long ponytail, I'm a cutie pie, and gets 5 pentakills.
Hell yeah.
Not even mad.
I hate to rain on your parade, but I think he clarified on stream that he's not going to be joining TSM.
That's what he said on stream. He couldn't acknowledge it yet.
He to give you this, he could just be trolling for legal reasons.
On Facebook, he had an outfit, a TSM outfit on.
I mean, my boy is the best AD carry in the world, so, I'm
Bjergsen's
sure
the top 3 in the world.
Bjergsen's got the money to top the $2 million he makes each year in streaming. Did I say Bjergsen? I meant Reggie.
Yeah, you said Bjergsen.
Why not both? Okay, memes aside.
Yes, memes aside. I think it'll be pretty interesting. I think it could really impact how their bottom lane performs, because it seems that one of the reasons why their bottom lane was so effective was because double lift
Same
was
thing.
able to same thing basically. He was with all of his experience and all of his skill, he was kind of able to carry Bio through lane a lot of times, and Biofrost would just mash all the right buttons and be quick enough about it. So I think minus double lift, Biofrost may struggle a bit. He may have to re-synergize with this new AD carry, and I think it could maybe add a monkey wrench into TSM's performance in the spring.
I think it's important to note that they do have an open import slot, so they could look for a possible Korean ADC thinking to come over to an A, or possibly somebody who's been in China for a while, Deft.
Def would just be TSM's biggest dream, wouldn't it? But he did say he wanted to win Worlds, so Cloud9 unfortunately does not have an open AD carry spot. I don't think he'd be looking over here. But along with that open import slot, I mean, Piglet has been another option that's been talked about a lot since don't quite know what his options in Korea would be, and we know that he is still a pretty good ADC, and he has played in NA before, so there'll be at least be a little bit of something going on.
And as far as we're aware, he's still signed with Team Liquid, so it's going to be really interesting to see where Piglet ends up going, because he has a lot of options. He can retire, he can try and get on a team in Korea, or try and play Liquid again for a split. So it'll be really interesting to see where he ends up going.
I think another thing we have to consider is CLG and IMT also declined to go to IEM Oakland, so they're it might hint at they're kind of trying to shuffle their roster around and make some improvements. So maybe Immortals might throw away Wild Turtle for someone better, though I don't think that would happen. But I think that right now we can kind of only guess and speculate, but I think it is a really interesting topic of discussion.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's also some rumors that Huni and Reignover may be joining Yellow Star's new team. So it will be definitely interesting to see where the IMT roster goes.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on a bit, EDG Deft, as well as a few other Korean players, have left their respective Chinese teams. Could this mean bringing more Korean talent to the Western regions? I ask, putting a hand to my chin. What do you think, team?
I think the answer is yes. I just not sure how it's going to be brought over, and I'm hoping that if NA brings players over, they bring proven players and not just like random players like GBM or something. Like they actually bring over people like Deft.
I mean, to be fair, GBM was like competing for best mid in Korea at the split before he left. My problem with it is you look at GBM, who was competing for best mid in the split before he left, and then he comes over to NA and just crashes and burns. I think there's a lot more to it than just find the strongest player we can, throw him on a team, and see what works. Like, I mean, there has to be team synergy. There has to be a lot more things, and a lot of these Korean imports just haven't paid off, really. Huhi and Impact, I think, were the only two Koreans in NA to go to Worlds, so maybe they're going to cut back on doing it, but who knows. Korea's a strong region, and people are just going to look at that fact rather than the whole team dynamic.
Yeah, I think one thing to really point out is there's a lot of kind of hidden factors. There's the language barrier, which you kind of have to get around. I think Cloud9 did it in a really interesting way where, when they're playing, Impact just kind of speaks broken English, and most of the time people understand them and they can communicate what the team needs to do. But outside of the team, they have Robin as a translator, so Impact doesn't feel pressured to maybe try to learn English, and they can just kind of communicate that way. But they also have to adapt to American culture. They have to struggle with being homesick, and there's just a lot of, I think, mental aspects that maybe factor into why some of these Korean imports aren't working out as well as you'd expect them to.
Yeah, I agree with having to adjust to the culture. Personally, I see this as the reverse Korean exodus, where all these players are flooding back in from China. They got their money, but they want to win. So I expect to see a lot of them go back to Korea, try to get a team there, and then the players that end up not getting on a team there may try to seek offers in NA or EU.
I could certainly see that as well, especially since it seems that besides Korea, at least from how I see it from Worlds, every other region is pretty much on equal footing. So, China and Europe and North America pretty much played about the same in terms of performance. So I could definitely see them, just a lot of them moving back to Korea, and the stragglers that can't really get on a team go to other places. What about you, Frozen? Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm just hoping that a Rush gets on a team. He was talking on stream last night, I think, or 2 days ago, about how I think he has a team lined up, but he can't announce it yet, and he can't announce if he's going to a Zubu yet. So I'm hoping he finds a team somewhere because he deserves it.
Yeah, same. Even though Rush isn't here, I think we can all agree that he's still kind of a part of the Cloud9 family. So I think we'll definitely try to support him as much as we can.
It's been a weird time since Worlds because I haven't seen any of Rush's insane outplays on the front page every day.
Yeah.
That meme is great. I love that.
And now it's just I'm a cutie pie memes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the last topic of LCS news, Meteos, it's been reported that he has been having a rough time. He's been experiencing a lot of depression and anxiety and stuff. I haven't seen specifically what he posts, but he's been posting to his Snapchat that his Twitch subs have access to. And I just hope that he feels better. Dealing with mental issues like that can always be rough. So, hopefully he gets it all sorted out. Whatever he decides to do, if it's go back to school, if it's retire, if it's stay on the team and go for another split, hopefully it's however he feels comfortable with.
Yeah, I completely agree, and especially when these players are playing up to 16 hours a day, it's so hard to not experience burnout and not feel that just loss. And after what we would all consider a tough loss in the quarters, I can definitely see why he's a little upset. So just, if you guys talk to him, send him a tweet, just, hey buddy, hope you're having a good day. That really helps people, and I think Meteos needs it right now.
Yeah, just send him your e-hugs, your e-high fives. Make him feel like he is loved.
I don't have all that much to add. Just that Meteos is part of the Cloud9 organization, and he's someone that we've cheered on and loved for years now. So I don't think there's any reason to ever flame him personally if anybody has, not throwing fingers at anyone in particular because I haven't seen it. But at the end of the day, when Cloud9 it loses, and no one feels as bad as the players who are actually up on stage, fighting to get paid and fighting for their livelihood. So just remember that, and next time you go on stream and act like a little asshole or something.
Yeah, on the 1% chance that Meteos actually hears this, that dude is one of the reasons I started watching Cloud9 when I first got into League. Like, I wanted to jungle, I heard he was the best jungler, I started watching Cloud9, fell in love with the team, and, you're not the 12.7 KDA superstar jungle for no reason.
Yeah, but just know, Meteos, we're here for you. And I hope you get better. Anyway, moving on to our big story of the night, guys. Cloud9's CSGO team won the ESL Pro League Championship. Let that sink in for a bit. We got a trophy, you guys. We got prize money. Big prize money.
We're the first NA team to win a real big international tournament in 11 years.
11 years, you guys.
Okay, so for those of us uninitiated, can you say why this is such a big deal?
Imagine NA winning like MSI or like IM Katowice or some other big international tournament with Koreans there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good example. I would also say it was in Sao Paulo, Brazil for the finals, and Cloud9 was put in a really tough group, and they managed to go 4-1, only taking a loss to SK, who were the favorites, and then had a really easy run all the way until facing SK, and then after a tough game 1, we're able to pull it back and go 16-6 on Mirage and 16-5 on Dust 2.
Yeah, who did they face in the quarter and semis? I know they faced Mouse eSports in, I think, maybe the semifinals? I can't remember.
So the way that the tournament worked was they had a round of 6, then semis and finals. In the round of 6, Cloud9 faced Optic and went 2-0. Played Mouse in semis and also 2-0'd, and then finished off with SK with the 2-1.
Yeah. So I think it was really exciting for me to watch because I'm not a big CS:GO viewer. I mostly just, if you're listening to this podcast, I mostly just watch League. Mostly because it's it's more heavily like regimented schedule. It's every day at like 2 and 5 on Saturdays and Sundays, and on I think at 5 for Fridays with just like one match. But I was really excited. I was playing for the team the whole time, and I think after watching this, I'm definitely going to be watching more CS:GO.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's also CS:GO has a more spastic schedule because there's a lot more smaller tournaments that big teams go to. But I think it's really put into light how big this was, considering there was a whole normal season that Cloud9 went 25-1 in North America in, only dropping a game to Echo Fox, and then kind of what most people would see as overperforming. But it's really good for North America. They're currently 5th on the HLTV rankings, which is pretty much what most people use as their official rankings for who's the best team currently.
So for those of us who got caught up in CS:GO now, when can we catch them this week? Do you guys know? I know they
Yes.
just finished a match as we recorded this.
We actually play again tomorrow. I actually don't know when this comes out.
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Thursday
Yeah,
the
probably
3rd. So
be-
probably after this has
Give
come
us a
out,
date.
but they play
We're
against
gonna try.
Complexity.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just gonna be saying they play against Complexity at 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow, November the 3rd. But they've been doing pretty well. A good way to find out where they're going to be and when they're going to be playing is check the Reddit. They will be at iBuyPower Masters, which is a tournament coming up, and that's a qualifier for IEM Oakland. So that's probably the next big thing for them.
Another thing is you can download the Score eSports app. They give you notifications all the time, so that's how I know when and how we do when we play.
Not sponsored.
I wish though. That'd be pretty dope. But one kind of final question for you CS:GO aficionados. It seems that from what I've gathered, the team seems to be playing a lot better with the new addition to automatic. Do you PieMagicMan and Trey agree with this? Because I think that at least from what I've seen, they've kind of been playing a lot more together. If that's a good way to describe it.
So the biggest thing is like the previous incarnation of the roster, like right before the addition of automatic, had Slummy in it as in-game leader to take the pressure off of nothing. And the problem with that team was Slummy being in-game leader wasn't as strong of like a fragger as the rest of the team, so it almost seemed like watching it for the most part was like 4v5s, and Slummy would sometimes like step up, but with automatic taking his place, like the roster looks super cohesive. Stewie2K stepped up to do a lot of the calling, and has a really dropped performance.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's really telling how Stewie was kind of this unknown guy who nobody really thought would prosper, but he's turned out to become one of the best CSGO players right now, and him paired with Automatic makes such a strong duo. and the how do I say that? The overwhelming success recently of Cloud9 has really been attributed to Automatic. And it's not necessarily that Slimmy was bad, but more so that Automatic meshed well with the team and created a whole new team dynamic for them.
Yeah, I think I also saw. I'm not sure how much of a joke it was, but he was talking about I guess the how to have a team that's like that plays like champions or whatever, and he seemed to just really be big friends with everybody on the team, and they kind of act like a family. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I think they have a really good team dynamic, and I think they do have a lot of bonds together, which makes them such a strong team. I don't think any of one single player necessarily stands out, except maybe Automatic. But it's interesting to see where the team's going to end up going, and if they can continue this high level of play.
Yeah, from what I've seen, at least from the championship, it looked like everyone kind of had their time to shine. It wasn't relying on one person to exactly carry them. You know, nothing would make a few good plays, or then Skadoodle would pop off at some point, or Stewie would do well. So I think that it kind of helps, you know, because it takes away a lot of the pressure.
Just one last note, just like on the whole team dynamic thing, as we were talking about SK, who's known as like the best in the world right now. They're number one on the HLTV power ranking. One of their members like recently had to take a small break. Took a break for surgery. They played with Showtime, and the team just meshed so poorly. They just decided to take a break until Fur could come back.
Yeah, and it's really important to also remember that C9 was not the favorites at this tournament. SK was still clear favorites because they were in their home country, and it was amazing hearing the crowd roar when SK was winning and then just dead silent when Cloud9 won a round.
Always nice to see when we get to do the upsetting. But anyway, let's transition a bit over to another small little topic. Cloud9's Overwatch roster was recently changed, and we added some new players to that.
Yeah, so if you've been following the Overwatch scene, you might have heard about Debit, Grego, and Reaver stepping down, all due to various reasons. And over the last, I think, about month, we've been trying out some new players, and finally there's been the official announcement. Mendo Kusai, Rolf, and Ribe have officially joined after the trial period.
I've never heard of them. How do you view this, PieMagicMan? What do you and Trey and Frozen, you can chime in on this as well if you follow Overwatch. How do you think those additions measure up to the previous Overwatch team?
So the previous Overwatch team, as we all know, like dominated in beta, kind of started coming into some problems with this. Mendo used to be like one of the top DPSs, like right up there with Surefour. Give him some time, let him get back into form, and he's just going to be fantastic. I believe I haven't actually seen too much. I believe it's Wolf that's the extra support who has a Wicked Ana, and Ribe as a secondary tank. Let this team get together, mesh together. I think we can see him come back into prominence.
Yeah, I agree. It's if they have the team synergy, I think they can be actually almost as dominant as the original roster was in beta. It's just really going to depend on how the team meshes together and what their team dynamic really is.
Yeah, there's certainly, whenever you do make a new team or you make roster changes, like you even in the LoL team, you kind of need time to mesh together and get to know each other and build up those synergies and know how each other plays. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of had hiccups at first, but just let them take their time, and hopefully they can do just as good as the original. I guess if anyone doesn't have anything else to say, we can go over to our next fun little silly topic, which is Cloud9's Mount Rushmore. So basically, since it's the election season, I thought it would be a good idea to ask, what would C9's Mount Rushmore look like? There's 4 spots, so you can pick any member existing on a team, previous member of a team, and put them be immortalized in, I guess, granite. I don't know what Mount Rushmore is made of. Stone.
In clouds.
In clouds,
There you
yes,
go.
even better.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw out 2. One is, I think, undeniable. That's Jack. The second one is high. I'm gonna throw those 2 out, and I'll fight anyone who goes against those.
Yeah, I think we would have Jack, High, Mango, and Nothing, all 4 staples of the Cloud9 org, and have really helped the community grow. For those who don't know, Mango is Cloud9's Super Smash Bros. Melee player, and Nothing has been on the Cloud9 CSGO team for quite a while now, so...
I mean, if I have to have something other than just 4 faces of high, then I'd have to agree with Trey. That's pretty great representation.
Yeah, when I was thinking about this question myself, I shifted kind of towards that as well. I think I could see changing out Jack for Sneaky, because Sneaky does bring all those really dank memes that we all crave. So I think that would be a good kind of position as well, because he is, at least when I think of Cloud9, he's kind of the face of the organization. What?
A beautiful weeaboo face.
Yes, a beautiful weeaboo lesbian face. And I don't think that, we can't forget about our sneakers.
Okay, quick turn native. We have those 4 phases on top of Sneaky's butthole.
That could work.
I don't know about that. Maybe just same written under all of them.
Yeah, that'd be a good tribute. I could see that working.
Or how about this? We just have 4 pictures of monkeys. So Jensen.
Are these like the super highest clouds in like the sky too?
It becomes more like a pantheon, like in Greece.
Yeah, I think 4 Jensen's is suitable. All resting on Rush's back.
Monkeys just need to get carried.
Exactly, and Rush is just like no counterplay, and he wins.
Insane outplay.
Insane outplay.
So I think we came to that consensus pretty fast.
Yeah, I was expecting maybe a little bit more debate.
Yeah,
we seem to be pretty agreeable.
Yeah, that's too easy, I think. Besides
Good job, team.
Sneaky, him and Medios, I guess are like the only arguable ones.
Even our podcast has great team synergy.
If you want another silly question, I saw on the Cloud9 sub that someone was talking about shipping Rush and Jensen together. I wanna debate with you guys. I think Jensen and Sneaky is a way better ship than Jensen and Rush, because they just look like the cutest couple. I mean, have you seen how Sneaky looks into Jensen's eyes?
I don't know. That would be taking away from Sneaky Medios. You're ruining an already good relationship.
All right, here's the thing: if Sneaky and Jensen have a kid, they'll be American, and then they'll be able to have NA residency when they get picked up by a Cloud9.
Yeah, see, there we go. They'll have the best mechanics, and they'll also be super good at memes. It's a win-win.
Yeah, but that's like an 80 carry and a mid laner, so would it just be a jungler to like meet in that midway point between the lanes?
It probably.
I think they could juggle those 2 roles wherever you need them. I could see that, maybe.
It'd probably just be like 100 monkeys pounding on a keyboard.
the first ever mid lane support. Just bring in the new meta of 2 mid with a mid support.
Yes, it'll happen. It can happen. You just need to believe. Just shatter that glass ceiling that is the expectations.
We don't need a meta here.
No, we don't. We just need to cheese them. But anyway, it looks like that's kind of wrapping up for us today. As always, we like to finish with our moment of the week and kind of talk about what we thought was the best thing that we thought happened in between episodes. So I'm gonna start with you, Frozen. What was your favorite moment of the week?
There was a lot. I thought it was pretty incredible watching Faker get solo killed in lane. So I guess I'll just have to go with that one because I can't really pick a specific one in particular.
All right. What about you, PieMagicMan?
Well, it was Smash Summit 2.5 these last few days where Mango gets pretty much everyone who was invited to Smash Summit, and then some people who weren't, and they come over to his house, go on like 3 streams, drink a lot of beer, and play a lot of Super Smash Brothers, and it's a great time.
Oh, that sounds like a great time. What about you, Trey?
My favorite moment probably had to be Samsung versus SKT Game 3, 68 minutes in. Ambition steals Elder Dragon. At that point, you knew that it was a series, and that made it all the worth it being there.
Yeah, he made a lot of sick steals that game. He played really well.
The thing is, that was also their first Elder Dragon, and it was crucial because they had 4 dragons already. So it just allowed them to do so much and allowed them to actually eventually win that game. So
Yeah. I think for me, my moment of the week is probably watching CSGO win the Pro League Championship. As someone who has been kind of wanting to get into Counter-Strike because of this podcast and because I'm becoming a bigger Cloud9 fan, it was just really nice to see them win. It was really nice to just watch it because it was really exciting. That's going to be my moment of the week. It was just a really great time in general. So, I guess to cap off this outro, thank you for listening to the 15th episode of Bodied the Cloud9 Fancast. Feel free to tweet questions and feedback to @C9Bodied or email us at bodiedfancast@gmail.com. We'll totally answer your questions, even if it's something ridiculous. We're pretty lonely because our inbox is always empty, so make sure to tweet those out. We'll always probably get a kick answering those questions. Also, we want to thank Wooly Bully and or Wonder Waffle for editing our episodes. They've always been really supportive in helping us get these episodes out on time. I also want to thank Trey and PieMagicMan for coming on. You guys, PieMagicMan hasn't been here for a while because of school, but thanks Trey for joining us in this great journey.
no problem, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, great. Friendship and fun all around. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time on another off-season episode of Bodied. Say goodbye, everybody.
Have a good night. Well,
Goodbye.
day, morning.
See you
Afternoon.
next week.
Bye-bye.